World Rider, the podcast edition. Podcasting. Who would have ever thought? Well, hello. This is Alan Carl, and welcome to another edition of the World Rider podcast. This is episode number 33, and though I'm recording this intro here on my balcony in Piraeus, in Athens, in July of 2019, you should know that the podcast you're about to listen to is actually recorded back in the fall of 2018 on October 11th, when I made a journey from the central part of Macedonia, cruising across the mountains over to Lake Ohrid, which borders on the, which sits on the border of Albania and Macedonia, or as it's known now, the Republic of North Macedonia. So I had been, give you a little background, I had been communicating with Mahasa, who is a fellow blogger. She's a travel guru and a motorcyclist, running on her XT660. She met up with a Austrian guy named Gerald, and through the days of exchanging email, we agreed to meet somewhere in the crazy Balkan Peninsula. So here it is, finally in mid-October. I connect with Mahasa and Gerald, and we agree to meet on the shores of Lake Ohrid. And without going any more deep, let's just get right into the podcast, and thank you for listening. Hey, if you haven't subscribed or given us a review, make a comment, please. This really helps. I'm on my second part of this Eastern European journey, and I am hoping to bring a lot more podcasts and a lot more YouTube video content. So get over to the World Rider YouTube channel as well, and please subscribe there. It really does help and makes this traveling even much better knowing that I've got you guys coming along. Okay, this is Mahasa and Gerald on Lake Ohrid in the Republic of North Macedonia on October 11th, 2018. This is Alan Carl. We're in the middle of a fantastic World Rider podcast. I am sitting in Macedonia. I am on this wonderful lake, actually the oldest lake in Europe. It's called Lake Ohrid. Sitting down with breakfast, and I've got two adventure motorcycle travelers sitting with me. This is so awesome. This is why I love to travel and meet people on the road. I'm just going to let them introduce themselves, and we're going to talk about motorcycle travel here in Europe.
Thank you. I'm Mahasa. I'm Iranian Spanish, based in Spain. I'm a full-time motorcyclist and digital nomad. So I basically travel on a motorcycle everywhere, and my work is also organizing travel. So it's all about traveling.
All about traveling. And who's this?
My name is Gerhard from Austria.
And you're a motorcycle traveler as well?
A little bit.
A little bit. Okay, so Mahasa here has been traveling since August, right?
This last trip, yes.
This last trip in Europe. And right now, as we sit here on the shores of Lake Ohrid, it is October 10th or 11th?
11th.
It's the 11th. Okay.
Probably
when
Thursday.
Yeah, probably. Not sure. When we're motorcycle travelers, we don't always remember the day, what day of week it is, right? Just go with the flow. Digital nomad. What is it exactly? Tell me about your work.
Basically, I run a company that it's called Not Just a Tourist. I came up with the idea, I think the same way you came up, with the idea about your project, that you travel and you're interested about things, and then you see that something is missing, that you could maybe add, contribute something to improve the world, or give people something better. So, and because I was traveling all the time and I wasn't happy with tour companies or experiences people were given, I found that everything was really run by mass tour companies. So I decided just to do something of my own, something better, something more honest, like a, let's say, fresh approach, something personable. So I created Not Just a Tourist.
Awesome.
Basically, I run it online, so I work with, I have a team and a network of people in many different places, and I work with them.
And you get to travel. And this pays for your travel, more or less.
Yes, of course, yeah.
And you have more experiences to bring to the travel business.
Yeah, I mean, because it's I think kind of like my company is like user friendly because I'm myself a traveler, so I understand my clients, and that's an amazing thing. It's like when you're a president, normally you're disconnected from your nation, and when you're a boss of a company, you're disconnected. But this is about connection, like what you do also.
We love connection. We know that. Okay, Gerald, or how do we say it in Austrian?
Gerard.
Gerard, yeah.
Gerard. Oh, okay, thank you. I'm just getting a plate of eggs sitting here. Gerard, how long have you been on the road this time?
1 month, I think, a little bit.
1 month.
1 month.
And what countries have you visited?
Yeah, I came from Austria, Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Montenegro, Albania.
Awesome. You've done a lot of travel over a month, huh? When does travel stop for you? When do you have to go home?
In the end of October, I think.
End of October. So you will have a whole almost 2 months of travel?
Yeah.
Did you start this trip alone?
Yes, I started.
Both of you guys are solo travelers as well.
Of course.
Yeah. Why do you like going alone?
Because you can meet beautiful women.
There you go.
I'm just joking.
These are the benefits sometimes. Do you ever travel in a group?
No.
No. Solo traveler.
Yeah.
And you were telling me last night that you have been to Albania, is it? 9 times?
Yeah.
9 times. So tell our listeners out there why they should go to Albania.
The food is special. The people is perfect.
Do you think people should go to Austria?
Yes, Austria.
Now he's going to give you a long
Context here, we had dinner last night. We should have been recording that because it was a lot of fun. But we learned here from Gerard is that Austria is also perfect.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any problems in your travels?
With the motorbike?
Yeah, or with the accident? Or
No, accidental, no, but motorbike sometimes.
What's your motorcycle you're riding?
It's an old BMW 100R, but it's built of scrambler off-road tires.
You put off-road tires on this R100.
Yeah.
And what year?
91.
1991.
Yeah, 1991.
That's awesome. Mahasa, what are you riding?
I'm riding, like in Europe, I have my main bike. It's a Yamaha 660 XTR. Like kind of like an enduro bike. Too heavy and too tall. And quite old too. I mean, your bike has got 150,000, right?
Yes.
Mine has got 111,000.
111,000 kilometers we're talking here.
Yeah.
What year is yours?
It's 2007.
2007.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've got the newest bike of the brands. His is a 91, mine's a 2005.
I'm the baby.
You are the baby. You're the baby. You told me last night, and we were having a lot of fun talking, and then the conversation quickly kept going in so many different directions, like it always does, like travels do.
Yeah.
But you said you broke both of your legs.
And a KLE 250.
On a Kawasaki 250. Give us the context of this. Set this up for us.
I was doing back then a road trip in Iran and Pakistan with a bike. Because I flew to Iran, I bought a bike there and then I did the trip.
Yep.
When I was coming back, because there is a certain area in Iran which is very interesting to me culturally, which is like the Persian Gulf, because they had the trades with Arab and India and Black Africa, so it's culturally very enriching and they have amazing music traditions. So I wanted to go there and I went there basically. The second day or the first day of the trip, I was on an island, beautiful island. It was just me and another car, and we crashed.
You were on an island.
Yeah, and there was nobody on the road, no traffic, nobody.
And yet the only other car on the road, you're the only motorcycle on
He
somehow.
hit me from the back, yeah.
From the behind.
Yeah, exactly.
How did that happen?
It was on a curve. He was like trying to overtake, and he was going too fast on a curve. So basically, and I was going left, so he caught me from the back.
As he was trying to pass you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, very, very unfortunate. The worst part was that I was really hungry. So then I was lying on the street with 2 broken legs and, like multi-traumatized, but I was hungry.
But you were hungry.
And then I had a surgery next day because I broke my both legs. And I was hungry and, you don't get food.
You don't get to eat because you're going to go under anesthesia.
Yeah,
Right.
and they didn't have enough painkillers either. They didn't have enough morphine or anything. So it was like very painful, everything.
Really?
Yeah, because it was on a small island, so they didn't have facilities. It was like one of those, explorer movies with somebody, like a white explorer somewhere, eaten by or attacked by a lion in Africa, and it's in pain, and then it's got malaria.
Yeah, you had everything go wrong, right?
Yeah, it was my case.
Okay, so you get to the hospital, you had to have surgery.
Yes.
Did they put pieces of metal in your leg?
Yeah, but they didn't have it again because we were in a small island.
In the Persian Gulf?
Yeah.
You're in an island in the Persian Gulf with only one other car on the island, you get an accident, and they were going to do surgery, but they don't have the hardware.
No, yeah. And when they sent me to the hospital, I mean, they didn't have any ambulance, so just like a car came and it was just sent me.
Well, this is what happened to me in Bolivia. They didn't have an ambulance either.
Yeah.
I mean, I was lucky that there was even a car out there.
Yeah.
But so you got off the island, and did you go and have more medical treatment?
Oh yes, then I I got the surgery there, but I had to call my mom, and she had to buy the titanium rods, and she took a flight and came
To bring
me so they can do the
put 'em in your
surgery.
leg.
Yeah, because they couldn't move me. Because that's I broke my femur, so it's very dangerous. They can't move you because normally you can cut your artery and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was transferred to a better hospital after 3 days in Tehran with a nice view over the mountain.
Oh, okay.
I had my friends who brought drinks and other things. Yeah.
And how long ago was this?
That was in 2013. Bad number.
Oh, bad numbers,
Yeah.
right. But how are the legs now?
The legs are good. I have a lot of nice scars.
You got a nice
stories.
Yes.
Maybe it's going to be the title of your next book, Scars and Stories.
Scars and stories. This is good.
Because each time, somebody sees me say, yeah, this scar is from this, and this scar is from that.
Yeah, this is skateboard.
Yeah.
We're all sharing scars here. So for you just came from Albania. That was your first time, right?
My second time.
Second time.
Yeah.
Okay, so why do you think people should go to Albania?
I think Albania is like a treasure. It's like a hidden treasure. I mean, I actually noticed that the second time I've been here, and I think I know like Europe quite well because obviously I grew up here and I've been traveling all the time here. So, and I think Albania is just amazing. The potential it has in terms of landscape, food, just the perfect combination of everything. Prices, you have sea, mountains, you have good off-road. I think you have also, I mean, we didn't visit so many monuments or culture, but I think they have like one of the longest histories, in Europe, like just as old as the Greeks. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's an interesting country.
And definitely a lot of Ottoman influence as well.
Yes,
for sure.
Like the food is a very successful fusion of all this, like Italian and Greek and Ottoman.
Did you try any good wine?
It was hard. Maybe people, if they want to come to Albania, maybe they shouldn't come in search for good wine. I mean, you can find definitely, but we need to ask you.
Yeah. You need to consult with me on this, but yes, you did. I noticed you had some chobo, which was one of the places I went to.
Yeah,
and that they make very good wine there. But coming back to Garrett, now you came through from Austria into so pretty much you've been in the Balkans, because you live really close to the border of Slovenia anyway.
Yeah.
Out of all these countries you've been going through, which one do you really feel you would love to go back to? I know you've been to a lot of these places.
Yeah. Bosnia and Herzegovina is very nice.
And where did you go in Bosnia Herzegovina?
Jajce. I sleep one night in Jajce.
Jajce, okay.
Then in Sarajevo.
Sarajevo? Did you go to Mostar?
Yes, but not this year, but many times.
But you've been to Mostar.
Yeah, Mostar, many, yeah.
Yeah, I feel I didn't give it. I agree with that. I feel I didn't give Bosnia and Herzegovina. I was only there for 3 or 4 days, and mostly in Sarajevo, which was good because I just really wanted to dig into the history. I have this fascination with what happened to those people.
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, talk about tenacity. So that was really special. I went to the tunnel. Did you guys?
The visit the tunnel.
You have been quite a bit of time in Kosovo, and where else?
I started my trip in Germany, Heidelberg.
The home of printing.
Yeah.
I mean, yet you're a digital nomad. So printing is.
That's true. Yeah, that was actually like one of the hottest days in this summer in Germany. That was horrible. Imagine, So, and then I passed through Austria, which I just wanted to pass through very fast because I've been there like a couple of times before. But it was just awesome. I stayed, I think, 2 weeks or something. Beautiful.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I stayed because I went there and then I went to the Dolomites, that's in North Italy,
Yeah.
and then I came back to Austria. And then I went to pass through Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia, Montenegro, Kosovo, Albania, and now in Macedonia.
And where do you think you really need to go back, spend a little more time? You know?
All of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
I agree with that. This is true.
Yeah. I mean, I really like Kosovo.
You like Kosovo?
Yeah, but it's just because my personal experience and, people I met, it's always people you meet.
It truly is. We've talked about this a lot on the podcast of other travelers, and we always remember the historical site, the ruins, the museum, the art, but we always remember the people that we meet. And that really does make a huge impact on your travel experience. And that's why I think traveling alone, we also talk about this on the podcast a lot. When you go alone, you be more open to new experiences and people. So what would you suggest of somebody's thinking maybe they could be a digital nomad, a solo traveler? Mm-hmm. What would your top 2 or 3 recommendations be?
Oh, that's so difficult for me because I'm such a pro.
Right.
I mean, it's not, it's so difficult because it's so easy for me, I have my stuff, I just pack and go. So, yeah, I think I always say that people should just do it. It's not so much about planning or worrying about things or trying to take control of things. It's just, just flowing and starting a trip. But basically having trust is very important. I think trust is a very important thing if you start a trip.
Mm-hmm. Trust in who?
Trusting yourself, trusting universe, trusting people, And as you said, I think you mentioned that last night, the openness. Like being open, it's very important because if you're open, people open up themselves. And if you're closed, people are just like a mirror. Most of the time, they just project what you are projecting. And
that's perfect. So just to reiterate what Mahasa said, and I think it's so important, you got to bring trust yourself, trust in the universe, and trust in people, you said.
Yeah.
And then also, certainly the openness, which we've talked a lot about. And even last night when we were at dinner, at the end of the dinner, they wanted to close, but the owner kept bringing us rakia.
There's 5 different types of rakia. It's just a rainbow, different colors.
Yeah, infused with different herbs and then the walnuts. Right?
Yeah.
Where have you had, the best rakia?
We arrived in Casamil, and the man,
oh, yes.
a man came with a bottle of water. We think it's water,
and
but
I just made a joke because he came. We just arrived with our bikes. We parked. A man came with his son. They were very friendly. They said hello. We just said hello.
And this is in Albania?
Yeah, in a beach town.
Okay.
And he just offered us a bottle of water. And I was joking, I said, it's rakia? And he said, yeah, it's rakia. So, in fact, it was rakia.
Yeah. This is one of the best rakia, I think.
That was a very good rakia, yeah. That's true.
This is funny. I was walking. I always love going to markets in these towns. I love just wandering the markets. And I'm in Niš.
Here is a perfect market.
Is there a good one here?
Yeah.
Well, I was in Niš walking, and I was with somebody from the tourist board, Natalia. And I'm, with the camera. I always have the camera. I'm taking pictures and talking to people. And this one guy stops me. He looked like Robert De Niro when Robert De Niro's going to be 80 or something. It's like an old version of Robert De Niro.
Wow.
And he looks at me. He's got these piercing blue eyes. And he wants to know where I'm from. He doesn't speak any English. And I tell him where I'm from. And then he's showing me his rakia, which is he's put into Coke bottles. He makes his own at home, comes to the market, they're in Coke bottles. Finally, he's talking, and she's translating a little bit for me, and she turns to me, he's like, this is really weird, the woman says to me. He wants to give you rakia for a gift to take home. He goes underneath the table, and he's making this sound, looking, he pulls out a bottle. So not the Coke bottle, it's his actual real bottle, but it's not what it says on there. And he wraps it up and hands it to me. And, and I have known this guy for 3 minutes, if that, right?
Yeah.
And he just comes to me and says, I want to give you this rakia and share it with you. And Natalia was like, wow, I've never seen anybody give rakia. This is what these guys do to make money. So it's that kind of thing. It comes down to open. Now, as far as the trust goes, when we did sit down with a few of her friends, 2 guys who also make rakia, when we poured the rakia out, They were a little bit questionable about the quality of it, but it still was the gesture that was most important. Have you had experiences like that? You know, like this guy that walk up. What else?
I mean, generosity. Like you travel and you just experience generosity all over the world. Like people come and share with you. It can be as simple as a smile, but it's still, you know, I think that makes your day, especially when you're traveling solo, right? Just a smile. Like when I'm riding and, you know, I pass, and for example, in Albania, we see so many shepherds. And, you know, you greet them, they greet you back. It's just so nice. You feel,
I love that when you wave to people, or like you come up on the tractors that are going so slow and you have to pass. So I always go very slow. And even and typically it's like an older guy driving, and then his wife is just sitting right next to him. You know, it's so cute. This is so endearing to me.
So yeah, I think generosity. Like the other day, we were in Girocastra, beautiful, you know, like that
Fortress
town, the castle town,
Ottoman town,
yeah. And it was really late at night, and all the restaurants were closed. So we were looking for, you know, craving for some sweets, and we knocked at this restaurant, and they were closed. But they were having themselves dinner, and they said, "No, sorry, we don't serve anything. We're closed, and we don't have any sweets like to sell or to give." And like we left, and after like 2 minutes, they came after us, like running and say, "Hey, come, we found some sweet, and you can have some sweet, and no need to pay."
Oh, that's so good.
That's just lovely, you know.
This makes your day.
So they cared, you know. They saw there is somebody in need and is looking for something, and they really thought about it. So people are nice, yeah.
I love that. I was in, you know, in somewhere in Croatia, and wanted to sit at this. It was a very small town. Just not a lot of. There were a lot of cafes, but only some people still have food.
Yeah.
But this place was full. There was no seats, and I walk in there, and he says, "You don't have a reservation?" I said, "No," and he says, I said, "Even I sit at the bar." He's like, "Oh, no more chairs," and I left, and about. Like you, 2 minutes later, he came running back. He's like, "There's a chair in the storage room. I will bring it out for you." And you can still get something to eat. Yeah, this is what's nice about that. You must love Albania. You come back 9 times. How many times to here to Macedonia?
I think, I don't know, more times.
More times.
Yeah.
What is it about Macedonia that you like?
Yeah, Ohrid, I think it's the best. I like the best place.
The best place in Macedonia.
Yeah.
But you come a lot here because you go a lot to Greece.
Yeah,
right?
I go overland to Greece.
Okay, so what's your favorite part of Greece?
In Greece is Creta, the south part of Creta.
I haven't been yet.
Yeah.
You take the bike out there?
Yeah.
How long's the boat ride?
From Athens to and 10 o'clock in the evening starts.
Yep.
And you arrive at 6 o'clock in the morning. In the night, it's perfect.
8 hour. You sleep.
Yeah.
You sleep on the boat. Is it crowded? Many people?
Yeah.
Depends on when you go. Yeah.
I have a few friends that actually go every year to Crete too, so it must have something that people appreciate, like I don't know, magic, feel.
Yeah,
you know,
something
it's one
strong.
of the old. I mean, the history of Crete is it's like old. It must have some energy, or, you know, maybe the food and the
the
beaches.
food is it's not so perfect.
No.
It's not perfect.
No.
The beaches, landscape,
landscape.
nice rides, maybe.
Yeah, nice rides.
roads
for
are
the
good.
motorbike.
Good weather.
And the weather is perfect.
The weather.
You go in the October, and the south part of Creta is perfect.
Where are you guys going next?
We are gonna move to another hotel. That's the immediate plan.
You're gonna move out of this hotel?
Yeah, because
it's expensive here.
yeah.
For one night's fine. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
and actually the curtains, they didn't close. So this morning I was awake like at 6:37 because you had the sunlight coming in. The curtains don't work properly, so you have like all these.
So you were up immediately when that sun came up.
Yeah.
I can sleep through anything. So if you know,
Good. So we stay here some days.
You'll stay here in the lake, Ohrid, for a few days.
That's one of the oldest lakes in the entire world.
That's right.
So.
And deep.
1,000 meters.
1,000 meters?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't have the stats. I need to get the stats.
Okay. So, and then maybe, I've never been to Bitola. Have you been to Bitola?
No. I see the signs. I know it's
It must be also interesting. And there is also a national park on the northwest from here. That should be also interesting.
I saw the signs for this, yeah.
Then going to Skopje, the city of ugly sculptures.
Right, Alexander.
Yeah.
They really like Alexander the Great here.
Well, the name of this hotel is Alexandria.
Yes, I know. They're really sticking to this thing. I know. Despite what the Greeks want, I know. It's
Well, the
great.
thing is, I mean, people need a hero. Nations need a hero, you know. It's like they want a star, they want a hero, they need a national hero. They have to either they yes, thank you. Either they have it or they have to invent it. So
Yes. In some ways, you have to invent this. Who's the hero for Albania?
that's Iskandar Beg.
Skanderbeg. Yes, they love Skanderbeg, and the Skanderbeg brandy is very famous.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Made in Albania.
Made in Albania. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I didn't know they had brandy too.
Yep. Yeah, it's vodka. They have brandy.
Oh, all right. Okay.
You know, but it's bottled.
Which color does it have?
It's the brown one, like cognac.
And then there is this Maitka. There is this gorge close to Skopje. That must be very nice too. There's a beautiful gorge apparently, and that's it. But probably it's going to take me 10 days.
10 days
Yeah.
in Macedonia,
Yeah,
and then you go back to Kosovo.
No. Then we have this conversation whether we go to the Horizon Unlimited meeting in Germany or not. If we go there, so we have to be the 1st of November.
1st of November, and that's in
Germany.
Heidelberg. Where in Germany?
No, it's like in the center of Germany, somewhere.
It's going to be cold there then, huh?
Last year I was there. It was my first HU meeting. I loved it, but it was so cold.
Yeah, it has to
And
be.
like the bunch of like overlanders were all camping there.
This is
and it was
hardcore.
-0. But we
Oh.
had bonfires and everything. It was just like really nice.
Yeah.
A lot of nice presentations of like nice people, you know. Because each trip is a dream.
Yes.
You know, that's the thing about because when you have your daily life and stuff, well, you have it and it's got ups and downs. But when you start a trip, you have a dream because you want to have a good time, you want to explore, you want to see. So when you see presentations of all these different trips, it's like seeing people's dreams.
Seeing people's dreams in the
so
life.
Very nice. Yeah, so that's the plan, more or less. But maybe we change it because, you know, I don't have to go and, you know, just rush through here because we need some days to get Germany.
Yes. And where will you leave your motorcycle?
That's also another question because we pass by his house, so maybe I could leave it there and we would take a transporter because he's got like also a car, like
Okay.
a van. Or maybe we put my bike there and we took it to Germany and I leave it with some friends.
There is a guy in Germany, I'm sure.
Stefan.
Yes.
In Heidelberg.
Yes.
I don't know him, but I used to live 5 minutes far from him, but I didn't know.
That's so funny. Well, I was in Croatia at a place called Lobogobo. I can't pronounce it, whatever
Yeah.
it was. But the guy that Dubi is his name.
Yeah.
Great name. You know, which is short for some like Dubrovsky or something. But yeah, he has in Croatia a place to store motorcycles. And then there was a couple I met from the USA actually,
Yeah.
who had their motorcycles at Stefan's and they were leaving them at Dubi's place. So these are kind
okay.
of, and then the Bulgarian guy, right? So these are like this is like the.
Yeah. But you have to pay, right?
I guess so. I don't. Yeah.
And I don't like.
You
I
like
mean,
paying?
I don't mind paying, you know. But it's always much nicer to have a friend.
Much nicer.
You know, it is much
I've got a friend in
nicer.
Greece. You know, this is where my bike will be.
That's I love it. So now I have my other bike with Mark in
Right.
Chiang Mai.
And how much does he charge you? So Jeremiah has his bike there too. Did you ever meet Jeremiah?
No.
No, he's from Colorado. You will see his motorcycle there when you go, I'm sure.
At Mark's,
At Mark's place. Yeah.
Really?
I'm pretty sure it's there. Yeah. Hey, well, we're just sitting here mumbling. We'll wind down this podcast, but I want to thank you too for joining in, and I'd like to get you back on again. Maybe we'll do one over Skype once you get over to Thailand. We'll message you in Austria, and we'll.
You should go and visit him.
I'm gonna go visit you in Austria. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll go do some drinking, some wines in
says
Austria
he's from-
and in Slovenia.
Sorry, he says he's from Tuscany of Austria.
The Tuscany of Austria. No, it's beautiful. I'm gonna go check it out. It's perfect. All right. Any last words of wisdom for the listeners?
No, just drop me a note and when you're around.
Yes.
I would love to see you.
Yes.
That's for the
Tune in. We'll put links to Masa's her travel business. So if you want any interesting tips on travel, and we have a new digital nomad. You got your first smartphone just not long ago, huh? How did that go?
Yeah, I learned much. I must learn much of this.
You have to learn. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm like a teacher, you know, I'm like teaching
Technology. Okay, well, this has been a pop-up version of the World Rider podcast, and tune in. There'll be more exciting stories from overland travelers and great winemakers and great food and whatever else that we love about travel. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So what did you think of that? thank you for listening. It was so great to travel through the Balkans, all the former states of the former Yugoslavia, the Republic of Yugoslavia, and to meet Mahasa after first contacting her just as I got into Albania was such a treat. And to meet Gerald, who is so passionate, riding that old BMW. Great stuff. Hey, we've got a lot more podcasts coming up on this journey. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please get over there, World Rider, and certainly leave a comment. Give me a review on the podcast here on the iTunes Store, on Stitcher, wherever you found this, because it truly helps. And we're trying to build a great podcast. We're trying to share the world. We're trying to bring you interesting people, interesting places, and certainly a lot of fun stories about connection, culture, and cuisine. And yeah, there's always going to be some wine. Thank you for tuning in to the World Rider podcast. See you on the next episode.